Hey guys, my name's Ramshot. If you saw my last video, you'll know that me and Hank Ron are trying to clear a positive shame in 1 year. Well, with that in mind, let's get painting. This isn't as much of a painting tutorial as a paint-along and discussion. I'll be discussing how to not be burned out when painting minis. The first tip is to find models that you enjoy painting. For instance, this is a converted orc boy that I made about 6 months back, and I really like the sculpt. I haven't had time to paint it. Also, I love painting my orcs, but I want to get the army fully painted, ready for the tabletop, and maybe even a couple of edge highlights to make him parade ready. So I decided to paint this instead of painting one of the other models on my desk, which was a human rogue from WizKids. The rogue was nice, but I had no motivation to paint it, because the player in my campaign who was playing a human rogue died, so I knew I would probably want to use it from its original use and had to sub in for a bandit, so I wasn't feeling as excited about it. So I pivoted to this model and I'm feeling a lot more energized to paint. If you have other hobbies, maybe take a break. Do something else, play some video games or something. Then come back a week or two later and you'll feel energized, but don't just set a time for you to come back to the hobby. You may never come back to paint, and then the hobby will lose one great painter. For instance, I play Magic the Gathering quite a lot, and if I'm feeling burned out, I will stop playing Warhammer. I'll pack my Warhammer stuff away. I'll still leave my painting desk set up, but I'll go down to my friend's house and I'll play some games of Magic. Then, in a week or two, I'll come back and I'll try painting again and I'll feel energized. Even playing video games can help. Just while you're painting and you're really not feeling it, maybe take an hour break. Maybe that'll help, and if it doesn't, that's perfectly fine. Try to remember that this is a hobby. Unless you're a professional mini painter, which there aren't many, just remember that you're supposed to enjoy this, that you shouldn't force yourself to paint, and it's fine to not paint. If painting isn't happening that day, don't. Unless you are commissioned painting, have deadlines to meet, just sit back and do something else, because forcing yourself to paint will tire yourself even more and give you more bad feelings with painting. For instance, I am nowhere near a professional painter. I'm quite mediocre at painting, as I like to think for myself, and so if I'm feeling burned out, I have nothing to reach. I have no reason to have to paint. I paint to have my own enjoyment, and if I'm not feeling it, there is no pressure for me to paint. But some people may apply pressure to themselves. You shouldn't try to do that, because it will still continue to demotivate you and you'll fall into an endless spiral of no paint. Another quick tip is to paint part of a model that you really enjoy. Even if you find a model that you think you'll enjoy but are still not feeling it, maybe do part of it that you will find. For instance, I absolutely love basing. Basing is one of my favourite steps as a painting process, and so if I am not feeling it, I will base a couple of models. This will get my hobby motivation back, and I'll be able to continue on with base coating, which I do not really enjoy, but I know I have to get done in order to complete some models. I'm going to pause the painting for a moment and explain something with your desk or wherever you paint. I have some unpainted models here, and those may make me feel like I have too much to get done, so out they go. And I will then replace those with all of my favourite fully painted models. I painted these two poxwalkers recently, and they're some of the best things I've painted, as well as this gnoll. So I'll have those near to me so I can look at what I've done in my painting career, and it will make me feel more energised instead of staring down piles of unpainted models that will make me feel tired and overwhelmed. Another great tip is to paint with a friend or a family member. When they're painting near you or alongside you, you'll feel more motivated to paint as you have some competition, even if you're not directly painting against each other. You can also chat while you're painting so you're not in solitude. I know that if I'm upstairs listening to a podcast while painting, well yes, I have some other entertainment, I feel like I'll get tired out more faster. Jeez, my English is terrible. Than if I'm painting with my brother or a friend, because I just can talk to a real person who is there in the moment, not saying that podcasters aren't real people. One final tip is to not think that buying more models will fix your problems. If you go out and buy a new box and put it onto your desk and you see your pile of shame, you will feel even more overwhelmed and it will still just worsen the problem. Now, one final thing to say is I am not a psychology expert. I just have experienced hobby burnouts multiple times in my painting career, and I know I've know that these things will work to help me, and maybe even you, get out of a rut. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all in the next one.